Trouble for the airlines this morning. EasyJet warning that the coronavirus crisis could result in it grounding the majority of its fleet. And IAG, the owner of British Airways, says it'll be cutting its capacity by 75% in April and May. Let's get a bit of perspective on this, speaking to our business presenter, Ian King. Morning, Ian. I mean, is this... I was talking with our colleague Mark Kleiman about this last start. I mean, is this as much of a surprise as some people suggest, given the dramatic drop in customer demand and the restrictions that governments are putting on the industry?
Well, look, as a quoted company, the likes of EasyJet and International Airlines Group, the owner of British Airways and Aer Lingus, have to update the stock market as regularly as they can when there is a material change in trading circumstances. And that's clearly what has happened for IAG in the case of them. Obviously, over the weekend, Donald Trump extended the travel ban from all European travellers to travellers from the United Kingdom and the Irish Republic as well. And obviously, that will have an impact on IAG's trading. With EasyJet, likewise, they've been forced to make further capacity cuts. And so you would expect them to put out a stock exchange statement. We also heard, incidentally, over the weekend, Virgin Atlantic calling for government support for the aviation industry. And I'll read you, Neil, this statement from EasyJet, because there's one paragraph in it which really does stand out. This is from EasyJet. It says, European aviation faces a precarious future, and there's no guarantee that the European airlines, along with all the benefits it brings for people, the economy and business, will survive what could be a long-term travel freeze and the risks of a slow recovery. Whether it does or not will depend significantly on European airlines maintaining access to liquidity, including that enabled by governments across Europe. In other words, they are looking for government to support the aviation industry. As I say, we heard similar comments over the weekend from Virgin Atlantic, and they're not the only two who are announcing further grounding of the fleets today. Air France KLM, which is, I should say, in terms of its finances, a far more precariously financed business than either IAG or EasyJet. They've said they're going to ground 90% of their fleet. We've also heard from Finnair, another major international European carrier. They're going to ground 90% of their fleet. Interestingly, though, Cathay Pacific over the weekend have said they're going to restore flights from London to Hong Kong in response to demand from passengers trying to get over to Hong Kong. So it's not all doom and gloom.